What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We gonna talk about the Houston Rockets and Daryl Morey stepping down as the GM. And I was just talking to people about this before it happened. He got himself in a situation where he just couldn't get over the hump in Houston. They had an opportunity with Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming. Injuries ended up stopping that team from reaching its full potential. And he tried to rebuild and retool, as we call it, continuing to keep the team competitive, continuing to keep the team fighting. And eventually he ended up having a chance to make a trade for James Harden. And that's where they are right now. They ended up becoming just a playoff team every year, to getting Dwight Howard and trying to be a contender in the West, to getting Chris Paul and becoming the best team in the entire NBA record wise, to even taking the Warriors to 7 games and being up 3-2 with Chris Paul being healthy. And everything went backwards once they traded for Russell Westbrook. They traded for Westbrook, trade a couple picks. They trade Clint Capella to get Robert Covington to go all in on micro ball. And it obviously didn't work because they get put out in the second round in 5 games to the Los Angeles Lakers. And they lost D'Antoni, who was the perfect coach for this type of style of play. He didn't want to come back. And not only that, they ended up leaving. Daryl Morey now ended up leaving, who was a guy that believed in analytics. He was a guy that believed that Harden could lead him to a title. He tried to give Harden everything that he needed to win the title. Superstars, role players, and guys that fit the style of play that they embraced and they fought to show. Even though it didn't win them a title, Daryl Morey did a fantastic job. I know the Westbrook trade and the Clint Capella trade people don't like as much, but like I tell people, y'all only saying that because y'all seen that it didn't work. You had to put yourself in Daryl Morey's shoes. Chris Paul and James Harden going at it. People saying that Harden wants Westbrook there. Daryl Morey does what he has to do to get Westbrook to come in, and it didn't work. They looked decent in the regular season. At one point, they looked like they was actually a contender, and then they traded for Clint Capella to lock into that spot, and it just didn't work the way people thought it would. And losing D'Antoni, the person that loved that style of play and felt like he can win a title with that style of play alongside Daryl Morey, just didn't work out for them. And now they're trying to look for a head coach and a general manager to fix this roster. Are they going to go all in with James Harden again? Are they going to trade James Harden? Are they going to trade Harden and Westbrook? Because if you're going to trade one or the other, you might as well blow it up. Or, is they going to try to find a way to rebrand this team and find a different style of play that can possibly win them a title, because Harden and Westbrook still under contract for a couple more years, and they're two of the best players, two All NBA, two All Star players, still in their 30s. You still have a shot, but they have shown that they have flaws together. They very turnover prone, not the most efficient players, and hasn't been to the finals in almost 10 years. So that just show you how hard it is to get to the finals. That show you that even if you got two of the best players, that you might need more to get it done. And they couldn't get it done last year. And Westbrook declined. He looked amazing in the middle part of the season. He looked terrible in the playoffs. And that's been something that's been consistent. Westbrook looks like a totally different player in the playoffs. Once the game slows down and the game becomes more, physical, and the game becomes more slow, Westbrook doesn't shine in the postseason. And Chris Paul usually does, but he cannot stay healthy, so that's the flaw keeping him. But Westbrook also plays worse in the playoffs than he does in the regular season, and that's something that you can't bank on because he has proven that he cannot get it done. So in my personal opinion, it's just going to be interesting to see what they choose to do. It's not time to panic because you still do have one of the best duos in the league. Only problem is you lose out on the picks and you don't really have any assets that you can flip to make this roster significantly better. And the only reason why I say that is your job is to compete with the Lakers and the Clippers and those type of teams because those are the championship contending teams. And if you're not going to be able to beat those teams with Harden and with Westbrook, then you're basically getting nowhere. And that's not where you want to be in no man's land. We know how terrible that can be. You're not worse enough to get a high lottery pick or even a lottery pick, but you are also not great enough to win the title, and that's where they find themselves at. A team that window is closing, a team that potentially might never win a title, and a team that's in a situation that it looks like you have two of the best players in the world and they're still in the prime of their career. And you know that it doesn't work with this particular roster. And even though you can still throw it and run it back next year or make some minor changes, you still might not be considered one of the top three, top five teams in the West. And that's not really a good thing considering that Harden and Westbrook hasn't been able to elevate their play substantially in the playoffs to warrant them to be able to run it back. At least Chris Paul and James Harden went 7 games with the Warriors and it was up in game 6 and game 7. Even without Chris Paul, they just couldn't get the job finished and done. Um, that's the reality of it. But this team took a huge step backwards with the Westbrook and Capella trade, and now they're in a situation where they're stuck. So I really want to see what they choose to do in Houston. Is they going to go for the rebuild? Because everybody's gone besides Harden. Can Harden get this team to a title in the next 2 years before the contract is up? Should you wait and see if you can win one with him, or do you try to cash in while he's still a MVP candidate this year and one of the best scorers in the league? And Westbrook had an All NBA All Star season. Do you cash in on that and try to get something back for him and try to rebuild and try to start all over? Because the Harden experiment, even though if I was Daryl Morey, I would do it again because you did become a championship contender. You did almost get to the finals, 1 quarter away in 6 and 7, but just didn't work the way you wanted it to. And I understand why Daryl Morey wants to leave. You have new ownership. You lost your coach, and you just can't seem, no matter what you do, get over the hump in Houston. So you want a fresh start. You want the opportunity to take a challenge somewhere else, maybe a bigger market, maybe a team with a little bit more talent or a team that has up and coming talent that you can come in and tinker some things, change some things, and possibly have a chance to win. The Harden experiment didn't work. The Houston experiment for all these years haven't been able to deliver a title. Gets frustrating, it's annoying, especially with things changing, people changing, personnel change. Time for a change. And I think Daryl Morey will find another job whenever he feels like it. He's still one of the better GMs. He's one of the better risk takers. And he's a guy that's willing to do what he has to do to put the roster in a championship situation. And that's all you can really do if you're a GM at the end of the day. And I feel like Daryl Morey, some people think he's overrated. Some people think he's crazy. Some people think that he's not good enough. But Daryl Morey still did a good job, regardless if he didn't win the title. It's unfortunate that he did everything he could and it didn't work out the way we thought that it might. But everybody has love and respect for Daryl Morey in their own way. And I think that he'll be fine in the future. He just got to continue to go. And if he wants to be a GM, he will have another opportunity. It's just about trying to cash in and win a title eventually as a GM. And we'll see if he's able to do that. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my spread shirt. There you can buy merchandise. You can also buy merchandise on my Facebook page. I got hats for sale. I have shirts for sale. So if you want to buy some hats, you want to buy some shirts or other merchandise, you can also message me on Facebook. Also like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that did it already. And if you're new to the channel, you didn't know, that will be in the description in the comment section below. And please like, subscribe, and share. Liking helps me reach more people. Sharing allows me to reach more people. That's a small thing you guys can do to continue to help the channel grow. and I appreciate that. Also, if you're new to the channel, I do discussions just like this about the hottest topics. I do free agency discussions, trade discussions. I cover summer league, the NBA draft, top 10 lists, season previews, and also do breakdowns of actual footage of players, legends, rookies, and also summer league breakdowns when it is happening. I have all those things covered on this channel, and the best part about it is I have a variety of topics and variety of styles each and every day when it comes to basketball content. So if you love basketball, you can't get enough of it. You need that daily fix each and every day when it comes to basketball, and you want different type of topics and different type of variety. This is the channel for you. And if you don't believe me, you can check over 1,000, almost 2,000 videos that I have already available on this channel. And at the end of the day, if you like this one and you check out the other ones, why wouldn't you like, subscribe, and share? Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm gone. And I'll come back to y'all with another video Friday. So look forward to that. And that's a big reason why you guys should subscribe at the end of the day. I'm gone.